I've got a friend in you. I know you are so. You are my confidence. You are my closest friend. You are my.
Financial planning, budgeting, and managing money are all life issues that the family faces every day. You're welcome to see me and you. You're very interesting program. And from my intro, you would have guessed what we're talking about today. Family and finances. And with me today is a very prominent and important man in this land. And it's no one else but the business tycoon, Pastor James Adebisi Adeyemi. Is a good speaker, a motivational speaker, and it's going to enlighten us about this particular subject. You're welcome to this show.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sir, we're talking about family and finance. Is there something called family accounts?
Yes, there is what is called family account. However, what is called family account is a creation of each family. Not that there is a law somewhere that establishes what is called family account. But each individual family can come up with creating their own family account.
How do we then manage this family?
Just like we manage every other affair of the home. The family account is equally managed in that regard. When you have a family account, the family account is created by the man and the wife. It is in between the two of them, and the two of them are the one that runs their family, that runs every affair of the home. So the two of them are the one that are saddled with responsibility of managing that family account.
Sir, what does family account entail?
Family account entails bringing the finances that is generated in the family into one single purse. This could be the money that the wife generates from her business or from her employment, and the same thing with the man. That is what basically a family account entails.
Thank you very much, sir. So that means we're actually talking about something like a joint account. Is that what you're actually referring to?
A family account is not necessarily a joint account, because you could have a joint account with somebody that is not your spouse. I could have a joint account with my friend. I could have a joint account with my brother. I could have a joint account with my sister. I could have a joint account with anybody. But what we call a family account is not just a joint account. It is joint in the sense that the money that comes from the woman and the money that comes from the man is put together into one purse in the family. But not that they are friends or they are just neighbors or whatever. It is, a family account is much deeper in a sense than a joint account.
So in other words, family account actually has to do with money that should be spent in the family, purely in the family.
The money don't necessarily have to be spent in the family, can be spent outside of the family. But the money that is owned by the husband and the wife that makes up that family, that money that is put into one purse is what is called the family account. Not necessarily the money that the woman wants to be spent in the house, like contributing money on the two sides. The husband brings maybe 10,000, the woman brings 5,000, and this money is jointly spent on issues that borders on the family. That is not necessarily a family account. A family account speaks of every money the woman makes, money the husband makes, which is put in the same purse in the family, is spent on matters arising in the family, is spent even on their extended family. Is spent to do anything at any given point in time. What?
I said that they jointly want to spend it on.
That they jointly want to spend on.
Oh, okay. Still talking about family accounts. What happens in the scenario where the wife is a full-time housewife, for instance, does not work, and it's just the man that is working? So is there a family account in that instance?
Yes, there is a family account in that, whether it's the man that is only working or the woman that is only working. In as much as the money belongs to either of them, the money can be managed by both of them.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at another aspect. When we have a family account, does it mean that we can go into that account as we like, just spend, buy what we need to buy, and just continue spending? Or should there be a budget, like a monthly budget for the family in that account, or should we just spend as we go?
This is a very tricky question in the sense that we don't necessarily need to have a budget because it is a family account. Just like individuals don't necessarily need to have a budget because it's their money. But see, let me say that there must be discretion in the way we handle the money that we individually make, and there must be discretion also in the way we handle the money that is kept as family money or in the family account.
Okay, sir. So we're saying we don't necessarily need to have a budget in a month as to our spending. We can just spend. I just want to clarify that point to be sure that is that what we're saying, that we can just spend, or do we really need as a family to have a budget for our spending?
You see, the issue is that a family is different from a state or a nation, where you will say an X amount of money is budgeted for feeding. An X amount of money is budgeted for school fees. An X amount of money is budgeted for maintenance of car. There are so many things that are impromptu that can come up in the life of a family. I believe most families will not budget for, say, health, for instance. But we do have at the back of our mind that if there is a situation that demands us to spend, that we will get the money, but not that in my own family, for instance, I will not say I'm going to put X amount of money down for F, issues in the family. However, when you are talking about feeding issues, feeding matter in the family, you can say, okay, look, we want to spend about 30,000 naira every single month, for feeding. But you possibly will not be able to say we are going to spend X amount of money, to fuel our cars every single month. You possibly will not be able to say we'll spend, X amount of money to buy clothes every single month. These things may vary from time to time. However, we can say, okay, from what we have in the family account, which is 100,000 naira every single month, that we want to put aside, maybe say 50% of that, to say that is what we will be spending every single month. Then you can call that a family budget.
So we need, in a way, to have a family budget so that we do not overspend or we do not underspend. But at the same time, we should be free with our budget.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. What about savings?
Every family should have a savings. Every single family should. And this is predicated on the fact that tomorrow is very, very unpredictable. Even today, we don't have a full understanding of today. Talk less of tomorrow. If everything we earn, we spend today, and we don't put anything aside for tomorrow, the unpredictability of tomorrow can bring out our foolishness. And so it is very, very imperative for every single family to understand how important it is for us to set aside a percentage of whatever thing we have against tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We're still coming back to that same question about tomorrow. But we want to go to the streets just to see the mind of people, ask people some of these questions. Do you have a family budget? Do you have a family account? We'll come back and then we'll talk more about this same subject. But meanwhile, don't forget to join me on Temi and You. Just tune in to your Facebook. And then you see Temi and You there. You can write anything you want about this program or any other program that you come across that is on Temi and You. Just let us have your views. And if you are not, if you don't have an access to Facebook, you can also just write us. You will see our address on this screen as we finish the program, or you can give us a call on the same number that is going to be on the screen. We'll be back. Thank you.
I believe savings is when you have enough. After the house has been taken good care of, that's when you start saving. Not punishing them. We are now said you are saving somewhere when the house is not in good shape. And considering the environment we have in Nigeria now, you must be an expert to save. So, not enough money to eat.
At Amishan, we believe that everyone has a talent. It may be hidden, and we try to get that talent out by teaching different vocations. That's how we say Amishan Vocational Center. We have vocations such as hairdressing, we have beads and jewelry making, we have baking and catering, we also deal with ajure and batik. At the same time, we have knitting, which is, people say, an old-fashioned thing, but we bring in knitting again, just for people to know we can knit. We also have decoration and so many other things that you can learn. We have 2 weeks program for students who are on holiday. We also have 6 months program. We have 1 year program, we have 1.5 years program, we have 2 years program. Everything depends on you, how much time you want to give into this program. We have tutors that are very good in each area of specialty. Also have motivational speakers that come in occasionally to actually talk to the students. And in other words, we teach you and we give you the best in the field that you've chosen. Not only that, we have a special discount for the first 100 students that we have in here. It can be a housewife, it can be somebody that has a mental disability, it can also be some school dropout, it can be children who have finished their school test or who are just dropping out of school and they just want to learn something new. So be one of the first 100.
Family and finance. You're welcome back again to this program, Temi and You. And remember, I have with me today Pastor James Adeyemi, who is a very good businessman, and like I told you earlier, he has a lot to teach us to you today. And I hope you're enjoying it. You're welcome back again, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we're talking about saving for the future. How do we save for the future?
We save for the future by simply putting aside a percentage of our earnings, of the money that is brought into the family account. For instance, this family can say, we are going to put aside 30% or 40% or even less than that of whatever we earn on a monthly basis. That is simply saving for the future.
Thank you very much. We save for the future. Let's assume, part of this savings can also mean properties, can mean some other assets that we have. For instance, if a man buys a land and the land is in his name, can he put that down as savings for the future? Or is it because it's a family, budget now, a family account? Should it be in both names? Most of the properties, or should the woman can go ahead and just buy what she wants to buy in her name, the man can go ahead and buy what he wants to buy in his name, and say all these ones are meant for the future as well.
We established an important point at the onset of this interview, and that is to say we're talking about the family account, that it is desirable. When we are talking about family account, therefore, there is no room to say that the man goes out to buy a plot of land in his own name, or that the woman decides to go out and buy a plot of land in her own name. What we are talking about when we are talking about family account is a long life commitment to put resources together as one. And whatever is therefore spent is spent on the behalf of the family, not on the behalf of the man or on the behalf of the woman. When a plot of land is bought, the man must be honorable enough to know what we have spent or what I have spent on buying this plot of land is taken from the family account. And therefore, the receipt must therefore indicate Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi, not Mr. Adeyemi. Where that is done, where the man goes ahead to put Mr. Adeyemi owning this plot of land, the man has broken what makes that account to be a family account.
I talked about the will, writing a will some time ago. And I remember the lawyer saying, even when you write Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi in court of law, anybody can be Mrs. Adeyemi. You can come and bring in a girlfriend or somebody that you marry outside and say, that's Mrs. Adeyemi. So it does not really have a sense. And we were talking about it, and he said, that means that you have to write, say, Mr. and Mrs. James, or Mr. James Adeyemi and Mrs. Yinka Adeyemi, then that counts for husband and wife. What's your view about that?
Whatever the lawyer says, the lawyer is knowledgeable. But I have some common sense. And I want to say that if a will is being written, the will must be written to reflect the proper names of the two individuals that make that family. That is, Pastor and Dr. Mrs. James Adebisi Adeyemi. And I'm married to only one woman, and the certificate is there to prove that. So there's nothing, I don't believe there's anything like somebody coming up to say, I am Mrs. Adeyemi.
I think he was more referring to it when you write, like, about a freezer for the house, you know. Because when it comes to property sharing and things like that, that was the area we were discussing. And it comes to buying a freezer, and I write Mr. and Mrs. Alunge. You understand? But he's not saying, no, when you're buying anything for the family, because now we're talking about family and finance, you're buying anything, then you must bring in the individual names, like Mr. or Pastor James Adeyemi, Mrs. Adeyemi, you know, and Mrs. Adeyemi. So the two names must be well spelled out in every transaction or in everything that you're buying into the house.
That's a legal perspective. But you see, I am talking from the point of view of a believer. My property will not become a case of litigation in the event of death. And I don't believe, if I have not lived my life waywardly, there wouldn't be anybody coming up to contest that a property or a freezer or an air conditioner or a car in the family that bears Mr. and Mrs. Adeyemi, somebody will say, he should have read Pastor James Adeyemi and Dr. Mrs. Yinka Adeyemi.
Well, not talking about, you know, not being specific about you now, but talking about our audience. That can happen. It might not even be another woman contending it. It might even be a member of the family, like your family. It might be an extended member just coming in and saying, no, he says, Pastor Mr. Adeyemi, so are you joining Mr. Adeyemi? You know, what, your name is not there. Your name is Yinka. You said Yinka there. So we're still talking about family and finance. So we know it's coming back to the same topic, family and finance. Some of these issues, you know, in our budgeting together, in our planning things together, we should look into some of these issues and be sure that we are doing them right.
I believe you are talking from the perspective of an African woman.
Yes, African culture.
And you are talking about the African man. Yes, we have our culture. But I think if a man and his wife have the privilege of living at least for 10 years together before death takes either of them, and they really practice what marriage is supposed to be, every single member of their family will know that before that time, before the issue of death comes in. And so the issue of coming up to say, it is my son's things or my daughter's things and I want to take them, I don't think it will arise. But I believe very strongly that the issue of having to write the two names, if law says that is the only way by which the woman will have the privilege of ownership if the husband dies, or the husband will have full ownership if the woman dies, I think we can go that direction. But outside of that, I believe very strongly that if a man and a woman are so united in their relationship for at least 10 years, every member of their extended family will have known the kind of life they are living together. They will say, look, you will say everything is for his wife, everything is for the husband. So I believe very strongly that even though we live in Africa, we can practice what an ideal family should be. And an ideal family, I don't think it is necessary to write Mr. James Adeyemi and then Mrs. Yinka Adeyemi. But if the law says that is what is right, since I'm not a lawyer, I can't contest that. I will succumb to the fact that do it that way. What is important is that nobody comes after the demise of one or the other to come and take whatever the two of them labor for in the life of the two of them.
Thank you. Still talking about family and finance. We have talked about budget. We have talked about keeping the same account for the family. Who manages this account?
The issue of who manage, I will link it to what you were asking me earlier, and that is the issue of the man. Yes, naturally and divinely, the man is the head of the family. But that does not necessarily mean the man is competent to handle the family account. If the man has money sense enough to manage the family account, let it be. But if the man does not, because it is not all men that have that capability, I believe if the woman have it, the woman should be allowed to run the family account. After all, today, the head of the IMF is a woman. And our own finance minister in Nigeria is a woman. So there is nothing in a woman that says a woman cannot handle a family account. If a woman can handle a national account and a multinational account and handle it very well professionally, I believe any wife can, just like any man can. So I believe the husband and the wife will know their strong areas and their weaknesses. If your wife is good in handling money matters, the wife should be allowed to do that. Outside of that, the man should.
I think that's a good point, sir. Because I remember a scenario where the man was actually the one handling the account. Because like you said, I'm the man, I'm the head of the home, I should handle the account. And after a while, they needed to buy a property. The man said, well, we don't have enough money to buy the property. And the wife was shocked. Why won't we have enough money? All our savings have been, he didn't know that she's been documenting it and documenting each time they put in money into an account, for the family. And then she went back to the same account and found out that all along the line, the man has been spending, has been taking money from the same account. And by the time she got there, they had little or nothing left. That almost broke the home.
Yes, that would be very disappointing because they are both laboring and they're both having a future together. I believe very strongly, if a man is not good, if he does not have money sense, the man must not be allowed to handle the family account. And I think this is an area where the issue of family account, becomes unpopular in our own country, in Nigeria in particular. I believe very strongly, if the man is good, let him do it. If the man is not good, I believe the woman should handle the family account.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm sure viewers that you've had a nice time enjoying this program. Not only enjoying it, I'm sure you have learned a lot from what Pastor James has said. You'll join us again next time. We hope to bring Pastor James Adeyemi back to this program to come and give us another very interesting lecture. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on this program.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers. Don't forget to join us again next time when Femi and you will come your way. At the same time, remember to tune into your Facebook, Femi and you, pass your comments, and any other thing you want to say to us, we'll appreciate. At the same time, if you have anything to say, go on your mail and send a mail to us on the same address on the screen right now. And if not, just give us a call. Thank you very much. God bless you for coming.